relaxation, receptivity, appreciation, and focus. There's something about solitude that will create a context, I suppose, for your focus so that you can assume this receptivity, this posture of receptivity, and tune your vibration for what we don't know. But there is some sort of new emotional beginning or new love opportunity, potentially. This opening up to new emotions and conception. Because Ace of Cups is in the position of the body and what's clarifying it is the Empress in reverse, there is this issue around receptivity, around conception, potentially around fertility, where it comes to actually trying to conceive something into reality. Hey Scorpio, welcome to your general tarot reading for April 2021. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for your support of my channel. If this reading resonates with you, hit the like button. It helps the reading to circulate amongst others. And also leave a comment below, especially if you'd like to be entered into a drawing for a free 30-minute personal tarot reading in April. I'm going to be drawing those names the second Sunday in April. So yes, leave a comment below. Let me know how this resonates with you. If you're interested in a personal reading, there is information below in the description box for that. Let's see here. I've been shuffling your cards off camera for a while. I'm going to split the deck 3 ways and then we'll sync up. We're going to look into your heart, your mind, your body, your past, your present, and your future. And of course, we'll pull clarifying cards all the way through. So let's get started. In the position of your heart and the present moment is the Eight of Wands in reverse. There may be some sort of lack of communication or stalled communication or a stalled movement forward in the present moment. In the position of your mind and what you think about it all is justice. You're seeking an answer or some sort of decision, thinking about an answer, thinking about a decision to a situation. You want justice around something. You want something to feel like it's been righted. In the position of your foundation, we have the Ace of Cups. Ooh, a new emotional beginning. Also could be a new beginning in love. Could be that you're opening up to your emotions in some physical way, like your body is opening up to your, receptive to your emotions at this time, because it is in the position of your body, also the present moment, or also the foundation. In the position of your past is the Daughter of Wands. Lots of movement here. This is interesting because we have the Daughter of Wands in your recent past, which is really just rushing off to the future with the wisdom of the past, moving very quickly in the direction of your passion. And then we have the Eight of Wands in the reverse in the present moment. So look at the difference, the similarities and differences between these cards. Upright, this is like focused, passionate, focused energy in the direction of your passion, moving very swiftly, very quickly, sometimes signifies communication. In the reverse, it's a lack, it's like a stalled energy. It's like it's stuck, lack of communication. But look how different these are. Like in the past, I get a sense that you have been moving very quickly. And somehow that's all come to a stop here in the present moment. In the near future, we have, ooh, the Empress, beautiful. Stepping into your self-worth, knowing your worth, emanating, radiating that self-esteem, that confidence, that self-worth. The Empress is about manifesting creativity in almost every way possible, nurturing something to its fullest potential. That's really interesting. We have 2 major arcana here, Justice and the Empress, seeking an answer around something. There's a new emotional beginning opening up for you, whether it be in love or whether it just be a different way of feeling about something that you've never entertained before. There's a receptivity here in your foundation to that new emotional beginning. In the past, we have you moving very swiftly in the direction of the thing that you feel passionate about. And in the present, we have a lack of communication. It's almost like you were moving very quickly, and then all of a sudden you like stopped. Yet we have the Empress in your near future. She is lying in a prone position. She's relaxing. So maybe that's part of the issue here, is like all this energy spent in moving so quickly, moving so swiftly. There's so much energy in this card. Having to kind of balance that, moderate that, bring moderation to that. And that so often the answer to anything is to relax and receive, like the Empress is doing. And she's also appreciating. She appreciates, that's part of her function, as part of like her nature, is to relax, receive, and appreciate. Appreciate the beauty around her, the abundance around her. What is this answer you seek on your mind? Let's clarify. Let's use the Rose Monaco deck. I was shuffling these last night while I was watching a movie just to kind of warm them up. They're very thick and they're glossy and they stick quite a bit. And so I was just trying to play with them to kind of get a feel for them. So let's use them this morning and see what happens. I would like to know what this justice is on your mind, what you're thinking about, like righting some wrong or bringing some balance to a situation. I just saw the magician flip up there. Okay. Wow. Okay, I'm just going to shuffle these till I get 1 or 2 cards, not a whole clump. Bringing some balance, because that is what justice is about, right? Usually you'll see a figure holding a balanced scale. So it's bringing balance to a situation, bringing justice to a situation. Oh, Death in reverse. 10 of Wands in reverse. There's some sort of transition. You're still in the process of. This is a major transformation. Also 10 of Wands in reverse. Still in the mix with carrying a heavy load. So it does still feel like you're in it. It is a major transformation, a major life transformation, transition. And it does still feel like you're not quite there yet. You're still carrying this thing. Wanting balance. What is this Ace of Cups in your foundation, this new emotional beginning? What are the characteristics of that? What are the qualities of this Ace of Cups? Oops. The Empress in reverse. Interesting. Okay. So we have the Ace of Cups and the Empress in the reverse. We talked a lot about receptivity already. We talked about receptivity opening up to your emotions in a new way here when we described the Ace of Cups in your foundation. We talked about receptivity when we described the Empress and how she relaxes. This is her modus operandi. She relaxes, she receives, and she appreciates. There feels to me to be some sort of desire around receiving something that has to do with your body. It is in the position of your body. This could be because the Empress does represent fertility for some of you, not all of you. This could be about conceiving, creativity, conception, opening up in the way of your physical body to receive, to conceive. And there seems to be some sort of concern because the Empress is in reverse here. There seems to be some sort of work here. Maybe some sort of understanding about what it means to receive, what it means to enter into that receptive mode. I will tell you a story. I used to work for an organization. It was a nonprofit, and I was in the role of resource development. And if you've ever worked for a nonprofit before, you know that oftentimes resources are scarce. And so part of my function was to appreciate resources, to cultivate resources for the organization. And on one hand, we had so many people in the community who wanted to be involved and who were willing to extend their generosity in the way of time, energy, and resources to the organization. And on the other hand, it seemed like we never had enough of what we actually needed, what we really needed. And it could get very overwhelming, in addition or coupled with the fact that there are so many responsibilities that any one person assumes when they work for a nonprofit, all the hat wearing. So it was very easy to get extremely overwhelmed and also feel a lot of pressure, and also feel like, it kind of got wound up with your identity if you're in the role of resource development. Like, am I doing a good enough job? What should I be doing? Should I be doing something better? And so when I found myself getting into that headspace or that energy of fear and lack and pressure and overwhelm, I would remind myself of all of the people who already were giving so much and wanting to contribute so much, and how if I focused on that, it would open me up to this energy of all I really needed to do was receive. Get into a posture of receptivity, because there is so much abundance coming in from the community. And time again, the thing that we needed would just show up at the doorstep of this nonprofit, right? If in the work on my part was to just notice it, to notice how it showed up, to receive it, right? So that's the lesson I feel here. That's what's coming through for me here, is this energy of receptivity, and like how you can really get into that energy of receptivity, that posture of receptivity. There's something about conception, there's something about receiving, and it's about adopting. You want to bring balance to this transition that you're in, right? You want this to balance out. And there's something about getting into this energy of receptivity that will help you with that. And it's coming for you. We have the Empress in reverse here in your foundation, indicating a concern, just a concern, like a block to receiving or a block to conception. However, the Ace of Cups is in the upright. It's just this woman, she's like, yes, I'm going to dive into this pool of water. This is like the 1 cup of love, right? This emotional realm. I'm taking a deep dive into this emotional realm. And so she's giving herself to it. It's coming for you. The Empress is in the near future. And the key here is to be like the Empress. Sit back, relax, receive, and appreciate the abundance and the beauty around you. Okay, well, let's look into then this 8 of Wands in reverse. Sometimes this is in your present moment, in your heart space. Something like came to a stop in the way of communication or movement in the direction of something you feel passionate about. 8 of Wands, present moment, heart space. What is this? Tell me more about this. I do see in the past that you were moving very quickly, feeling pretty optimistic as well. You have the Wheel of Life in your hand. and you're just dashing. You have this magical creature next to you, the unicorn, and these cranes flying above you, all moving in the same direction with this momentum. What is the Eight of Wands in reverse? Oh. Coming together with someone else, a meeting of the mind, seeing eye to eye. Seeing eye to eye on something. Could be that you were moving in a direction in tandem with someone else, or you are in tandem with someone else. You individually were moving in a direction very quickly, but there was something about getting on the same page with this other person that is in your field of resonance. A lack of communication that brought you to a halt. There needs to be a coming together, a meeting of the minds, a sharing of ideas so that you can be united in this thing, in this transition that you're experiencing. Tell me more about this Daughter of Wands in the past. What were you moving so quickly toward? What were the qualities of that? Saw the Lovers flip up there. Oh. Interesting. Five of Swords. Conflict. Were you moving towards something or away from something? Evading conflict? Moving quickly to avoid conflict? Again, conflict. In the reverse. I feel like both of these are way, way past. These could just be figments in your imagination, like figments in your mind of past experiences. Conflict. Daughter of Wands, moving quickly away or towards something. And there's conflict, clarifying it. What is this Empress about? Here, let's use a different deck. We talked a lot about the Empress. We talked about receptivity, relaxation, appreciation as her MO, her modus operandi. She doesn't act. The magician takes action to turn his dreams into reality. The Empress, like I said, tunes her vibration and receives. Tunes her vibration to appreciation. Tunes her vibration via appreciation. Oh, interesting. Maybe the way that you do that is through solitude. Look at how this older man is walking along, and there's a beam of light that he seems to be walking toward, but it's also emanating around him. There's something about solitude that allows you to connect with, allows you to focus on tuning your vibration to, I don't know what you're tuning it to, but I do see that you're going through a transition. I do see you're still in it. It does still feel like you're in it. It does still feel heavy, almost like a burden. There's a desire, a thought around bringing balance to this transition. In the past, we have really swift movement, clarified by double conflict. It's like you're moving away from conflict, or you're moving because of conflict. There's potentially an evasion, like I'm trying to evade conflict. I'm moving so quickly to evade conflict. In the present moment, we have a stalled communication. It has to do with somebody who's in your field of resonance, coming together, seeing eye to eye, a unification of like mind. But there is a stalled communication and there's a stalled movement. I don't know if there's not a meeting of minds here, and there needs to be, or I'm not really sure what's happening here. In the future, we have this relaxation, receptivity, appreciation, and focus. There's something about solitude that will create a context, I suppose, for your focus, so that you can assume this receptivity, this posture of receptivity, and tune your vibration for what we don't know. But there is some sort of new emotional beginning or new love opportunity, potentially. This opening up to new emotions and conception. Because Ace of Cups is in the position of the body and what's clarifying it is the Empress in reverse, there is this issue around receptivity, around conception, potentially around fertility, where it comes to actually trying to conceive something into reality. Could be physically. Let's pull a clarifying or a card of guidance. That's interesting. Let's pull a card of guidance for you. Card of guidance for Scorpio. As they navigate this. It does seem to have something to do with either a lover, a new love opportunity, or a new emotional beginning that involves somebody else. Whether it be a lover or a partner of some sort. Card of guidance for Scorpio, please. Scorpio, if this is resonating, please hit the like button so that the video can circulate amongst others, and consider subscribing to my channel. Hit the bell for a notification. What? Coyote again? And bear in reverse. I got coyote last time. The last reading I did, we got coyote. It's a trickster. I'm going to read both definitions here. If you'd like to be entered into the drawing for a free 30-minute personal tarot reading in April, leave a comment below. So we got bear in reverse, contrary bear, and coyote upright. Let's read about bear first. 5 is the number of conflict and change. 4 is the number of stability. So there's a play on stability and change. The two are sort of counter to one another, aren't they? Bear is about introspection. Okay. Introspection. If you've drawn bear reversed, your internal dialogue may have confused your perception of your true goals. In seeking answers or advice from others, you may have placed your own feelings and knowing aside. The time has come to regain your authority, for no one knows better than yourself what is proper and timely for your evolution. Reclaim the power of knowing. Find joy in the silence and richness of the mother's womb. Whoa. There's a lot of connectivity here with the Empress, the mother's womb, and be still and know, the hermit. Allow the thoughts of confusion to be laid to rest as clarity emerges from the west, nurturing your dreams as the earth mother nourishes us all. That's the Empress. Bear in the contrary position is teaching you that only through being your own advisor. God damn. I love these cards. So good. Can you attain your true goals? Only through being your own advisor can you attain your true goals. Anything less than the doing of that which gives you the most joy is denial. Oh shit. What does the Empress do? She tunes in, she relaxes, she receives, and she appreciates the abundance around her. Now, if that is not a posture of joy, tuning, maybe that's what you're tuning your vibration to. Joy. I love this. Anything less than the doing of that which gives you the most joy is denial. To achieve happiness, you must know yourself. To know yourself is to know your body, your mind, and your spirit. Use your strengths to overcome your weaknesses and know that both are necessary in your evolution. Journey with Bear to the quietness of your cave and hibernate in silence. Dream your dreams and own them. Then in strength, you will be ready to discover the honey waiting in the tree of life. That's beautiful. There's a strong message here for you, Scorpio. If you feel, there's a strong message about knowing yourself. There's also a strong message about creating a space for you to get into that. Creating a space for you to know that, to know yourself. And there's also a strong message here of like, the only thing worth doing are the things that bring you joy. The only direction to share your energy with, the only focus for which your energy should rest is on those things that bring you joy, that make you happy. Paying attention to your emotional state and prioritizing those feelings of joy and happiness. Doing the self-care things that bring you, that put you in that state. Whatever it is for you. For me, it's like taking a really luxurious bath. At the same time, it's like an everyday thing. It's like self-care. It's like the practicality of the self-care regime. Doing those things that make you feel better, even when you maybe resist doing them. Hiking, art, eating a really delicious meal, preparing a really delicious meal, really nurturing yourself, putting yourself in that emotional state and then vibing on it, right? That's what the Empress is about. It could be that you've been relying on other people to sort of guide you, because there is this message from the Hermit here, or from Bear in reverse and the Hermit, to seek your own guidance. Create your own focus based on your own inner being, your own inner knowing. And there could also be, because we have Coyote here, somebody who is trying to actively lead you astray. The Coyote is a lot about that. It's a trickster. It's a con man. It's spiritual claptrap. It's somebody who's pranking you. And I think it's interesting that the Coyote showed up here in this reading. So let's read about it. Coyote has many magical powers, but they do not always work in his favor. Maybe you're tricking yourself. His own trickery fools him. He is the master trickster who tricks himself. No one is more astonished than Coyote at the outcome of his own tricks. He falls into his own trap, and yet he somehow manages to survive. He may be banged and bruised by the experience, but he soon goes on his way to even greater error, forgetting to learn from his mistakes. He may have lost the battle, but he is never beaten. Coyote is sacred. In the folly of his acts, we see our own foolishness. As Coyote moves from one disaster to the next, he refines the art of self-sabotage to sheer perfection. So yes, I wonder if there's an element here of self-sabotage, an element here of tricking yourself, falling into your own trap. Coyote takes himself so seriously at times that he cannot see the obvious. For example, the steamroller that is about to run over him. That is why when it hits him, he still can't believe it. Whoa, was that really a steamroller? I better go look, he says, and he's run over again. Wow. Go immediately beneath the surface of your experiences and ask yourself what you are really doing and why. Is Coyote your medicine? Are you playing jokes on yourself? Are you trying to fool an adversary? Is someone tricking you? When was the last time you did something just because it was crazy and fun? On the other hand, you may not be conscious of your own pathway of foolishness. You may have conned yourself and your family and your friends or even the public at large into believing that you know what you're doing. But listen, Coyote, you are balled up in your own machinations. I never know how to say that word. You've created befuddling, bewildering, confounding trick. Okay. So... It could be that you think this is harder and should be harder than it actually is. I had a friend once who was trying to conceive a baby. She was going through IVF treatments, and it was very expensive. And even with the treatments, they were still having a hard time. She was having a hard time conceiving. And she was sharing that story with me. And she said, we're about to go to Florida. I don't know what they were going to Florida for business or something like that. They were going to be on the ocean. And I said, you know what you should do? Because she didn't have the responsibilities in Florida. I think her husband had the responsibilities. It must have been for business. And I said, you know what you should do? You should take your chair out to the beach, sit in the water, and just completely relax and feel the breeze, like engage your senses, feel the breeze, smell the ocean air, and receive all of this like bounty, the sensorial bounty of the ocean, and meditate. This is like a sensorial meditation, and do that as much as you can. And she did. She did that, and she came back, and they continued. They were still doing the IVF, and she conceived almost immediately after the next treatment. The next time they tried to implant this embryo, she conceived. She conceived. She opened herself up. She got into that receptive mode. And it wasn't as hard. She somehow was able to override the resistance by giving it a little bit of her focus, not the resistance, but the receptivity. Giving it the focus with her senses, and taking the time, creating the space, creating the context to get into that mode, to tune her vibration to receptivity as opposed to resistance. So, my dear Scorpio, I hope this reading was beneficial to you in some way. If you'd like to dig a little bit deeper or dive a little bit deeper, and would like a personal reading, look below in the description box. Follow me on Instagram at Lunasync. And I'm wishing you the best in April. I know that you are the Empress, and it's not as hard as you think. So carve out a little bit of time for you to engage your senses and to relax and to receive and to appreciate. And then you will step into Empress energy. All right? Take good care.